Hello everyone. Today I'm pleased to present on Titanic Survivor Data Story. As part of our selected topic, Tell a Story, we will work our way through the Titanic dataset, computing survival rates, visualizing, and informing the key insights. Let's dive in. In this presentation, we will tell a story through Titanic survivor data. While going through this data set, one can build survival rates for age, gender, and class. Visualizing the data using bar charts and histograms helps to make out the factors that influence the survival rate in the Titanic. This study provides valid insights into the historical event and also form a basis to show the power of data storytelling. The source of this study is Wolfram Data Repository. So let's check the overview of the Titanic dataset. This data holds a record of 1,309 passengers who were on the RMS Titanic during its maiden voyage in 1912. Data of the passengers includes details on age, gender, class, and whether each passenger survived or not. This information enables us to look further into the survival rates among different demographic features. Now, let's delve into the survival rates by age group. From children who had from 0 to 12 years old, 61% of survival rate. Children, one of the highest percentage among people of all ages. This could be due to the fact that during the evacuation, the woman and children first procedure was applied. The preference given to children made most of them get saved. Between the adults, 38% of survival rate. The survival rate of adults was low compared to that of children. This age group is quite broad, with varying chances of survival depending on the individual age brackets involved. Adults generally received a lower priority compared to children and women. And the seniors, 22% of survival rate. The percentage of survival among seniors was the lowest in all groups. This may be because of various factors, such as their inability to move or manage the task of reaching a lifeboat, and the preference given to young passengers during the rescue. In that slide, we will explore the survival rates across the different classes. The first class, survival rate of 63%. First class passengers had the highest survival rate among all classes. This can be attributed to their proximity to the lifeboats and a higher probability of receiving assistance from the crew. Besides, there was more likelihood of prioritizing the first car passengers during the time of evacuation. Second class, 47% survival rate. The second class passengers fell into the category of moderately surviving. Since they are situated beneath the first class, it was a little bit more difficult for them to advance to lifeboats as quickly as possible. However, they still had better chances compared with third class passengers. The third class, 25% survival rate. Third class passengers had the lowest survival rate among all classes. They were located in the lower decks of the ship, which made it difficult for them to reach the lifeboats in time. Additionally, there were barriers and locked gates that further hindered their escape. Let's examine how survival rates varied among different gender categories. For female passengers, 74 survival rate tax. Female passengers indeed survived the ship tragedy, while male passengers succumbed to it at a rate roughly 3 times as high. This is because the prevailing practice at the time called women and children first. When women and children were being evacuated for the ship, they were given lifeboats ahead of men. The survival rate for female passengers was almost three-fourths. The survival rates in male passengers, 19%. The survival rate among male passengers is quite low compared to that of female passengers. This is because the woman and children's first policy placed men as among the last to board the lifeboats, if at all. Still, many men might have voluntarily stayed behind either to help or through the expectation placed by society of their bravery and sacrifice. All these factors combined to ensure that only 19% of the male passengers survived the disaster. Let's check the key insights. Gender disparity. The ratio for women passengers was the highest, nearly three-quarters at 74%. Age factor. The survival rate was higher among children than among adults and seniors. The class influence. First class passengers had a survival rate of 63%, whereas second class passengers had a survival rate of 47%, with third class passenger having only 25% survival rate. This analysis shows sharp contrasts in the survival rate across groups of passengers, bringing into light the role of age, gender, and social class in determining one's chance for survival during the disaster. Let's see the additional insights for historical accounts. We can add depth of our analysis by referring to the accounts of those who survived the Titanic. These allow for a personal perspective on the disaster and help us to understand the human experience behind the data. For instance, the Titanic archive gives abundant source of materials from newspapers reports, interviews, and oral history for survivors. Scholarly perspective. From a more scholastic view, we can look at the in-depth review of Wormstead and Fitch 2011, which not only gives specific survival rates but also demographics as well. In their findings, the general survival rate was 32%, along 63% of first-class passenger, 47% of second-class passenger, and 25% of third-class passenger. Predictive modeling. By using the Titanic dataset, predictive models can be generated in order to estimate the likelihood of survival based on various factors. As an example, we can use logistic regression or decision tree classifier predictors for outcomes in survival. These models will let us understand the relative importance of different features and improve the ability to data-driven predictions. And in conclusion, we have summarized that the Titanic dataset calculated survival rates, visualized the data, and identified key insights. This understanding of factors is important to implementing data storytelling and helps draw valuable lessons from this historical event. The source of this data is Wolfram Data Repository. To question and answers, I would like to thank you for your attention. I hope you found this presentation informative and engaging. Now, I would like to open the floor for any questions or discussions. Feel free to ask anything related to the topics we covered today.